Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Crate Expectations. I'm here with Lifter Unit Sarah, not to be confused with 66-year-old Vanna White.
I don't think I could be confused with 66-year-old Vanna White.
I'm sure that many people are in fact confused as to why I made that comparison at all, and it's just because right before we started recording, I watched I saw an article about how she just re-signed for another couple years,
I,
and she looks so young. I'm like, I don't. It feels weird that she looks like she's so young and she's 66.
I will say my mother is 67 and she looks pretty young.
Good for her, man.
I know. I'm
That's
like, give me
great.
those jeans.
She's like, I did.
I know. Oh man.
You'll be 67 and people will be like, yeah, she looks kind of young.
I hope so.
Yeah, that it's all good. I mean, if she comes by it now, I don't actually have an issue, even if she's doing all the Hollywood stuff to make her look younger. I actually don't care. I just it just feels there's this weird disconnect of like she's that, not this even 66 even in that old, honestly, for
Yeah.
real, but I don't know, it just seems weird.
Yeah.
Disconcerting. It doesn't feel concerting. It's disconcerting. It's
Oh,
one of those back
jeez.
formation words that if you take the dis off of it, it's not actually a
It's
word.
not a word.
Concerning.
Oh
I'm
man.
very combobulated.
Yeah, we're both just out of it. It's fine.
Yeah. So, anyways, enough about Vanna White. Jeez, Sarah,
Things you never thought you would
can
say.
can you please stop
Ah.
talking about her and
Yeah.
let's talk about someone important like
Hmm.
Leia is unlocked. Well,
Yeah.
is in the game, unlocked by less than 1,000 people, but she's in the game.
Yeah. She's in the game. Malicos is also unlocked by however many people. I didn't look it up.
Yeah,
More than Leia.
yeah. Well, I have him on 2 accounts.
Yeah.
You have him on.
One and a half.
Yeah, I have him on 1.5, and you have him on 1.5.
Yeah, I no, but yeah, I
Yeah,
got him. And
yeah. Which one are you more excited about?
Malicos or Leia. For a second I thought you meant which account. I was like, my own.
Okay, Th- thank you for that. Let's
You're
move
welcome.
on. You want to talk about
Um
Vanna White for a little bit longer, or
um I'm excited. Okay, so I'm excited for Malicos because I actually have him and can use him right now. But I'm excited for Leia because this is the first Galactic Legend that I'm not behind on. I'm not sh- like
mm,
last year, when Jabba came out, I was like, oh, I still need to get Lord Vader, right? And I was like playing this catch up, and I'm not behind the needle on it now. It's just a matter of like farming the marquise to get her. Um, so I'm excited for that reason. I think I will get more enjoyment out of Leia.
yeah,
Yeah. What about you?
yeah. So, all right, both of them really exciting. So, I have, gosh, I have all these mixed feelings. I'll have to explain at length. Now, no, but seriously, the so Malicos. I'll just say this. I've been so excited about him, and then I used him in Rise of the Empire and the Territory Battle,
Hmm.
and on my main account, he won pretty easily. On my alt account, he ended up losing in tier 2, and he was just very meh. And what I realized was he's very dad bod boba ish. He's very Sign of Django,
Uh,
where he's kind of just locked behind his Omicrons, is what it feels like right now.
hmm.
So I'm gonna withhold judgment until I see him in GAC.
Mm-hmm.
Even if he fails a couple times, I'm not just gonna just throw him out. But it, he's just kind of underwhelming. If he doesn't have his Omicrons in GAC, and that locks him into GAC. So,
Right.
or kind of like Starkiller for that matter. Honestly, like Starkiller, I guess now he plays in Territory Wars. Okay, he does okay other game modes, but really, I tried him in Proving Grounds the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Like my Starkiller team on my Prevail Man account, and Starkiller died the fastest out of anything. It was just the most worthless team. It's
Yikes.
just so awful compared to even just like a traditional Padme team. So, Starkiller, I don't hate him. In fact, he's like my favorite character in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Even though he's just GAC, he's really fun to play. And then also, he's fun. Like Malicos might just be in that same vein.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. I could see that being a thing.
Leia, on the other hand, she seems fun. I have mixed feelings though because I'm at the point now, like, people are just making super teams in GAC again. That's just
Right.
the thing, for me, at least. People, I even called it the other day. I was facing a guy, I was like, oh, I don't see any Malgus in the back. I don't see any GLs in the back. I bet he has Sith Eternal Emperor with Malgus
Mm-hmm.
and Sith Empire in the back. And people are like, yeah, right, I bet he kept Malgus for other things. And I got to the back, and lo and behold, the exact team. He had never placed it before, but it's just... that's what you expect.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Um,
so, like, Leia is just going to do that more. That she just adds to the fire.
are you expecting to see her on defense? Assuming there's anyone in your pod that has her.
Well, maybe she'll be on defense and maybe not. But what she does is free up another Galactic Legend or similar
Right.
team to go on defense. Because she
Right.
kills everything. So you may as well... you're like, oh, well, I used to just use Kenobi to kill all this stuff. But I don't need Kenobi anymore. Because I have Leia. Leia will kill all the same stuff Kenobi did, but for better banners or easier or something.
Right.
And so you could just throw Kenobi on. So that just... whether she's on defense or a different really strong team, it's the same kind of result.
Right. It has the same effect.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So yeah, she looks super fun though,
She
and
does.
Dragon Man looks like he's just going to act the name, like he's just going to destroy people, burninate the countryside. It's gonna be, it's really quite impressive.
I've heard multiple people say that like he goes and everything is just on fire.
Yeah, it's fun, man. It's
Like,
a have you seen any of the any of the videos people have taken? Like she autos the toughest Lord Vader comps. She just you hit auto and you win. She autos undersize against Lord Vader.
so everyone's speculating about who should be the fifth, and she's just like, yeah, we don't really need a fifth.
That will be unnecessary. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean she'll have some things she struggles on a little bit, but I mean, well, the funny thing is people are putting it on auto, so that's the same as putting it on defense. I think she's gonna be good
yeah.
on defense. She just dies so easy to Jedi Master Luke with Revan. Like Jedi Revan
Mm,
marks her,
yeah.
and then you just kill Leia, and the whole team just stands there forlornly. Like R2D2's like, why am I Relic 9?
Why am I here?
Yeah.
Poor R2.
Why am I in the forest again?
I was wondering actually if like after I read her kit 5,000,001 times because it's a novel and a half. Um I was thinking about it and I was like, oh, you could like there's nothing in her kit that says you couldn't mark her.
No, she's just and you kind of want to. You want to be hitting her because she's got that, I forget what the ability is called now, but the one that she just...
Fearless?
fearless. Sure, yeah, yeah.
I think that's what it's called.
But it comes back all the time, but as long as you delete it, like she just stops, it stops boosting everyone. So you want to
Yeah.
get rid of it.
Yeah, I think also like I'm really excited for her because I plan to use her on offense, right? And normally when I get a new shiny toy, I just stick it on defense.
What are you gonna do with Malicos,
I'm gonna put him on defense.
Malcontent, defense?
Yeah. I
Okay.
so because of my blunder of last week, I need to win this week. I'm very far down in Kyber 3. So,
Yikes, man.
yeah, it's big yikes. Don't ever forget to sign up, I guess. Uh
Especially when you don't play 3v3.
yeah. Oh man. So, and my brain is all turned around now because obviously I joined this week and I'm just like, all right, it's week one. It's not week one.
I don't know. Everyone's like, yeah, I'm used to 5v5. I feel like Yoda sometimes looking at your account and you have 10 million billion 10 million is less than you have actually of credits. You have way more than that. Um, you have all the credits and but if you don't even play half of the GACs,
Right.
which is where you could get a lot of credits. In fact, if you're consistently playing.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like Yoda. I'm like, how you get so big eating food of this kind? Like,
Or I'm like,
how do
I'll
you?
just do one more battle than they did.
Yeah, how do you have so many credits when? Yeah, it's funny,
It's
but
fine.
totally.
It's totally fine. Situation normal.
We're going to be talking about what could get you into GAC at some point. I think in your segment, though.
We are.
I'm excited to hear that.
Sure. Um,
And I'm going to be talking about
mhm.
what could get me into territory wars, and all I'll say is I think people will be surprised because they always are surprised when I tell them the thing I'll tell you over there. So, you
Cool.
know, yeah,
Like a little tease for dessert.
a little
It's
hook.
like when you're eating dinner and you see the dessert cart like three
Yeah,
tables over,
yeah.
and then you know exactly what you want and you hope no one takes it off.
And you hope it doesn't have gluten in it. Oh, sorry, that's
Bad,
not nice of me.
basically.
basically,
Basically, yes.
basically unkind.
It's
I'm
fine.
trying to find a shred of regret. Oh wait. Oh no, I thought I saw
It's
one.
it doesn't exist. Um, but yeah,
Nope.
other than Leia and Malicos, there's no news. That's
I
it.
mean,
That's
that's
big.
big enough.
Those are big like tidbits of news.
Big tidbits.
Big tidbits. That's an oxymoron.
Sounds like something she would say.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I know she does. It's not always kind. But so all right, we have Malicos, and obviously we've had his kit for a while now,
mhm.
and hopefully he'll be good in GAC. Maybe he'll be good in Territory Wars as well because we'll have Fulcrum and Cal
Right.
to put Omicrons on, and everything. What are you thinking? So everyone's been saying this, and it just makes me laugh. So Malicos, everyone's
hmm
been saying, oh, he's gonna be a good Lord Vader lifter unit because people just keep wanting. I mean, it's the era of super teams again. Unless
Right.
they expand GAC again, which I don't necessarily think I love because it'll just make the rounds last longer.
Yeah,
But
please don't do that.
says the girl who just doesn't even sign up for GAC. I don't play GAC, but my vote is.
Hey, I still could have a vote. Um, Go on.
Unfortunately. So, you should give me your vote. So, anyways, people have been saying this about Malicos, and maybe it'll be true. It'll be amazing. It'll be a renaissance of domination
hmm
for Lord Vader and his team of erstwhile, or of not erstwhile, but of I don't know, amazing
memes.
UFOs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is his band of UFOs. And, or maybe he won't be good. I don't know. I'm not trying to say one way or another. We'll know soon enough. But now we have Beskar Gideon coming up. And he will almost
Yeah.
certainly have the Empire tag. Which means we might
Hmm.
have another 3 months of will he be a Lord Vader lifter unit?
I hadn't even thought of that. Uh, yeah. I mean, does he become a Lord Vader lifter unit or does he go? I think he's also going to have the Imperial Remnants tag, isn't he? Yeah.
I think his kit will be custom built.
Hmm.
I think it'll be a lot like Watt, is what I think. In fact, sorry, I say Watt. I meant Trench Spider Guy.
Oh, okay. Yep.
I gotta keep those two. Like those two have just reside next to each other mentally for some reason, and I guess they're on the same team ish. But yeah, yeah. So, but Trench has specific things in his kit
Hmm.
that they don't say those names specifically, but they say the names of abilities specifically or whatever, and it's essentially saying, "Here's the team that we've handpicked to go with you. If you have nude on the team, you get bonuses because you extort people better. Or if it's a separatist that does the one thing, the thing that Django does,
Yeah.
and exclusively in the separatist faction, then and so my guess is that Beskar Gideon will be that.
Yeah. Where it's just so specifically tailored to what tunes will go with him. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see that. And then I could see though people being like, "Well, I don't have those tunes built, so I'm just gonna stick them with Lord Vader."
Well, and honestly, like Malicos has a few things that go with Lord Vader that seem
Mhm.
like maybe it'll be good. Honestly,
Yep.
I mean, just the fact that you can't revive, he just has plug and play, no revive,
Hmm.
is just really nice on a lot of different teams. But yeah, I who knows what Gideon will do. It just seems like I think he's just going to be pigeonholed the way Trench is,
Right.
where Trench doesn't have much of a team. You have a tiny bit of leeway. You're like, okay, I could add like a Geonosian to the team if I'm not going to add Watt, or you can like put one different character down. You can put Droidica, and you get penalized or dinged for either one, but it's
Hmm.
still in some cases acceptable.
Right. It still works ish.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think? Because this is actually like something that I have noticed, and I'm sure I'm sure many people have noticed this. They seem to be now, they being CG, falling into this like pattern of really prescribing this is the team that this character is designed to go with. Like you have Leia now, and she is specifically calls out R2 and burning. So you know you're gonna want Drogon there, and then you have um Beskar Gideon possibly calling his stuff out, but you've got Trench and like there's all these characters being released, even ships that they're specifically calling out what team they want you to build.
Yeah.
Do you think that's good, or do you think that is kind of like stifling? Because a lot of the game is theory crafting, right?
Well, it is, and it isn't at the same time. I
Mhm.
guess I'd like to hear what your thoughts are. Let me just, I guess I'll say my piece real quick, though. I'll have it before I forget. So War Machine. I used to play this game called War Machine. It's a tabletop miniatures game, very nerdy and everything. And what would happen is people would come up with. I mean, it's a very theory crafting heavy game as well. I think that's just the kind of game I'm attracted to. But people would come up with these crazy, just very broken combinations. And as the game continued to expand and more units were released, it was more and more difficult to stay away from things that would not just break the game, especially in the greater balance of they're expanding multiple different factions across the board over time.
Mhm.
And a game like that has to continue to put out new units. And so you get to this point where everything is just so you have like two. You have this enormous faction full of tons of different options, and if you want to play competitively, you have maybe one option
Right.
or something, maybe two options to take, because everything else pales in comparison to this amazing thing. And that's very similar to the mayhem that would happen if they didn't. What ended up happening was they realized that they could do a thing, and I don't know, I doubt they're the ones who designed it, but or they came up with the name, but like you have design space
Okay.
where you can still have a good team or a good army or a good whatever you want to call it for whatever game, but they would all kind of have internal synergy within that faction, within that group, but then they would largely be irrelevant to the other places, but that opened up the doors for a ton of different factions to get played in multiple ways,
Mhm.
in significant, meaningful ways that weren't really available before, because why would you take this cool, thematic, awesome thing when you could just take this crazy bludgeon ridiculous no synergy but they're just too OP
Right.
kind of thing. To me, design space is, it means that they're looking for the longevity of the game balance. So I like it actually. What about you?
Okay. Um, yeah, like, so I'm torn on it because part of me doesn't like being told what to do. And then the other part of me
Sure. Mm-hmm.
is I'm almost like appreciative of it because it makes it a lot easier to plan because
Sure.
to unlock this character, they're going to slot in with these other characters. And if you don't have them built up, then you might as well just work on them now ahead of time. Like it just makes it so much easier to plan exactly what you're doing with your roster. And also to just to, in general, to like pay attention even more so to what CG is saying and what they are explicitly telling you to focus on
Yeah.
without, you know, looking for hints and all of this stuff that we used to do.
Right. Well, yeah. It's nice to have things all kind of fit together instead of just not knowing. Right now, Jedi are kind of like that for me, where I don't know where Jedi Cal or Jedi Luke or Mace
Mm-hmm.
or Ayla in some circumstances, or there's a ton of different characters, Jedi Revan for that matter, and Basti and
Mm-hmm.
Hoda. All of them could just go all over the place,
Yeah,
depending on what
absolutely.
depending on what I need. And I kind of like that flexibility, but at the same time, if I had to do that with a ton of different factions and it was just very freeform, it would be a little more stressful, I think.
Yeah, I feel like it would just be ridiculously hard to plan things.
Yeah, and it also just leads to some really dumb combinations if you don't have design
Hmm.
space. I think honestly that's kind of why I think they got rid of the no defense thing on Watt way back in the day.
Right?
For the tech, it ignores defense because plug and play ignores defense, especially with a crazy the size of rosters we have now. Under some of the characters that we have now, it
Hmm.
just plug and play, ignore defense, and also disallow revives is probably just going to be problematic for long-term design space.
Yeah. Yeah. You need to patch that before it gets out of hand.
Yeah,
That's
I
right.
know that's a sore subject for a lot of people. The great nerfing.
Hmm.
It's also there's this really surreal situation where, the off meta. I love the off meta, and so that does kind of deal with a lot with theory crafting and stuff. And I'll have these weird conversations with people where I say, oh, okay, well if you add C3PO to this Git or this Leia the Cat May team, it's not Leia. Padme and Cat.
Hmm.
If you add C3PO to this team, then you'll be able to kill Jedi Master Kenobi, and people will say things like, "Oh, I have to destroy my CLS team or make it a little less functional in order to kill a galactic legend."
Right.
I doubt I'll ever want to do that. That's fine if you don't want to clear a galactic legend. I don't really care if you're just a stick in the mud and you don't want to break up your team for the principle of it. That's fine. It's not fine. Stop thinking like that. But No. I have these conversations where people get sulky about it.
Mhm.
Why would you ever even consider making a video about a way to beat a galactic legend, but it breaks up my precious pet team? I'm not making you. I just want you to have the option, man.
Right, because you could use maybe you don't need your CLS squad.
Yeah, maybe you do, but
Right.
on the other hand, you use a Padme squad on one hand with Cat, but you don't have if it's a Cat May team without C3PO. I mean, there are maybe some other combos that could work there in that circumstance, but if you take that or you take CLS and no combat, like if you take both of those against the Jedi Master Luke or Jedi Master Kenobi team individually,
Hmm.
you just die with both teams, and it's horrible.
Right.
Or you could combine on both and kill the team and move on, but then you're short two teams. But it's whatever, man. It's just you have these surreal conversations where people get mad about you breaking up their team, and then similar people, a lot of people, the same people will say, I hate that they're prescribing what characters go on these teams.
Right. But they don't want to break up the team.
But they feel comfort in having that prescribed team. They don't want to break it up. And I get why they don't want to break it up. I like
Hmm.
having the comfort of, okay, I have B2 on my General Grievous team, but a lot of times now Afra steals him.
Right.
And then I don't have a good Grievous team anymore, and it sucks because I love Grievous and his team. But I can understand it. At the same time, it's just this weird juxtaposition of I honestly I think a lot of people don't they kind of want that they want prescribed teams is what I
Yeah.
think
Without knowing it.
without realizing it. Yeah,
That's fair.
I'm sure I speak for everyone when I say that. It's
It's
totally
fine.
fine.
All right.
Now, I guess we have let's do
The
the trigger
trigger.
photo, and then we'll go over and we'll discuss some amazing things over on your channel for dessert.
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
how to get us into game modes.
yeah, sure. Yeah,
I know.
we're in the game, but I can't find the button for it again.
Oh man.
Just
That's what
never
she
can.
said.
She said, "Oh man," to that. Let's see, is this it? No. Oh, hold on a sec. All right, I found it. Sarah is berating me off screen, guys. It's not okay.
It's totally fine.
So here it is. Someone
Hmm.
I've shown this before on at least one of my videos. I know this exists, but I gave you a hard time, Sarah. How many credits do you have?
I don't want to look at it.
It was going to be a favorable comparison this time.
661
Oh
million.
man, we should make fun of you. Now,
Yeah.
fell you fell for it.
Yeah.
Fell for one of the classic blunders. No, this is so crazy. Someone takes a screenshot of this. This isn't a thing. This isn't a screenshot I would send to someone, frankly.
But the credits are maxed.
Yeah, it's and there's some kind of formula out there to say why this
Mhm.
is. It's a multiple of something. I don't know what it is, but tell me you're not interested in mods without telling me you're not interested in mods.
Man.
What do
It
you?
is quite a lot.
I would be interested to know if how many characters are maxed out on there and what
Mhm.
things they use because you use a lot of credits just passively while you're upgrading characters too.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a lot of credits,
And
man.
just getting the characters ready. Yeah. Yeah.
So you don't have that many yet.
Yeah, we're fine.
You're about a third of the way there.
They went down. I was at like 675.
And then you had to upgrade a character to 85.
Correct. Give them mods, slice some mods.
Nicely done. All right, let's go to Sarah's channel. It's found in the video description or a link below us. We'll see you on the other side.